Hi, so today's date is the 1st of May and I'm filming this video because May is the month of action for the International Communication Project. Obviously, as a speech and language therapist, I really support this project. So today I thought I'd do a video on why I think speech and language therapy is important. Okay, so speech and language therapists work with lots of different people for lots of different reasons. We work with from the very young children to very old adults. We work on lots of different areas. So I think when people think of a speech and language therapist, they think that we just fix stammers and that we fix lisps. But speech and language therapists are so much more than that. Imagine if you were thirsty, but you couldn't talk, and so you had no way of telling people what was wrong. And so maybe you were flicking your hand or something like that to alert people that you wanted something, and they thought you were hungry, so they kept bringing you food. And then eventually, if someone keeps bringing you food when you're very thirsty, you're probably going to lash out just to tell them, this isn't what I want. And they might think that you're just acting out or, being difficult. Imagine if you had a stroke and it affected the language areas of your brain, and the things that you used to be able to do and used to enjoy doing, like going to the pub and meeting your friends, you weren't able to do that anymore. You couldn't follow your friend's conversation because the topic changed too quickly, or just the language was too high a level for you now. What if you knew exactly what you wanted to say, but you just couldn't physically get the words out? What if people always misunderstood you and asked you to repeat yourself? I know if ever anyone asked me to repeat anything I say, I get annoyed. And imagine someone asking you to repeat yourself all day long. Imagine if you studied for years or were in a really well-respected job and suddenly you couldn't follow simple instructions and you couldn't read anymore, and the things that you used to be able to understand were now like some new kind of language. Imagine if you had maybe an autism spectrum disorder and you didn't know how to make friends, you didn't know how to start a conversation or to even maintain a conversation. Imagine if you didn't understand rules about how to act around others. So say for example, if you went to a shop, you wouldn't understand that you were meant to get in the back of the line. You mightn't understand the difference between things that you can do in private in your own home and things that you can do in public. What if you got bullied at school just because you had difficulty talking or just saying one sound? And what if you had a language difficulty so that you found it really difficult to follow a teacher's instructions and it took you much longer to do your homework than everyone else in your class? So all those questions and things had a point. Speech and language therapists work with all of these kinds of difficulties and even more to help the person communicate to their best ability and to function in society and increase their quality of life. So that's why I think speech and language therapists have a really important role. We work with all different people on all different kinds of things to help them in whatever way they need. So let me know if you've ever had speech and language therapy, or if you know someone who has, and how it affected them, and you can just leave it in the comments down below. Thanks very much for watching. Bye!